In the past 6 years, we've seen 8 NFL teams make changes to their uniforms. Teams like the Seattle Seahawks and Tampa Bay Buccaneers overhauled their looks with fresh outfittings from Nike, albeit, the Bucs came with much criticism. Others, like the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions, made subtle and welcome changes that fans were pleased about. One team you haven't seen change its look is the Dallas Cowboys, and you may never see it happen. The Cowboys have one of the most iconic uniforms in all of football, the white jerseys with royal blue stripes and numbers, and turquoise-gray pants. Strangely enough, they wear the combination at home. Dallas is one of the only teams in the league to primarily wear white on its home turf, which raises a lot of questions. What made Dallas want to wear plain, white uniforms in front of the home crowd? Cowboys equipment director Mike McCord, who's been with the team since 1989, shed light on that very notion by phone on Monday to explain the quirks of Dallas' unique look. Originally, the white at home started with the heat, especially at Texas Stadium, McCord told Fox Sports. As hot as it could be for our late August, early September games, I think the heat was a big factor, and one of those things was making the other teams wear darker jerseys on the road, as well as standing in the sun on the sidelines in the old stadium was a huge factor in that. So anytime you're wearing darker colors, it tends to retain the heat. So that was a big part of why the Cowboys wore white jerseys at home. 1996 Super Bowl 30, Dallas Cowboys over Pittsburgh Steelers 27-17. It makes sense. Texas is hot, and at the old Texas Stadium, there was no retractable roof. It was just a gaping hole in the middle of the building, allowing for the sun to beat down. You can imagine how hot it'd get on the field, which retained heat as if it were a sauna. There's no question Dallas home jersey is highly recognizable and can be plucked out of a lineup by even the most casual NFL fan, but few people know why it is that the Cowboys use royal blue and a strange tint of gray in the pants when their helmets feature a darker blue star on a silver background. The pants, for one, came about when the original team president and GM Tex Schramm saw that color on the interior of a car. The Cowboys Star Blue, which is the pants you see with the home white jerseys now, actually originated with Tex Schramm. Apparently, he had a car that he had seen. I'm not sure if he owned the car or if he just saw it, but he saw a car with that color interior and fell in love with it. So we had dye lots. That fabric is a dye-lotted color, so we have to order certain number of yards to produce it in that dye lot. So that pant color has become the color of the Cowboys for their home games. That color has evolved over the years, although only subtly. When the NFL switched to Nike, the color popped even more as a turquoise, bluish-gray. It was a completely different color during the Cowboys' infant years, appearing more like a pure gray. Back in the old days, we had a company called Red Fox that designed the uniforms, and that was more of a true gray, McCord said. It was more of a solid, flat color on the back and then a shinier color on the front. Totally two different materials and colors. That went all the way through most of the 70s. In the late 70s, early 80s, that's when this color was found, so we started dye-lotting the fabrication of that. Russell was making the uniforms quite a bit in that time frame in the early 80s, so they were able to match this color that was come up by Tex Schramm. What you see on TV is almost an exact representation of what the Cowboys are wearing on the field. Granted, nothing on TV is ever perfect because of the different settings on each television, but it's close to the same color as what you'd see in person. But before high-definition TV came along, that wasn't the case.